Welcome into the channel. Today I will be covering the 7 Halo Infinite equipment items for you to equip and to dominate the arenas in this master guide. We will be going through specific details of each item, how to use them, and how these specific items can drastically increase your survivability and success in game. Also guys, make sure you stick around for the entire video. I do have a really cool tech or tip that you should use when you're using the Repulsor. This equipment item, it's pretty slept on because honestly there's a way you can use this that is phenomenal and it's going to help you in every single one of your games. Now Halo Infinite has 7 pieces of equipment available, although 2 of them are the overshield and active camouflage. These are both power equipment items that only spawn on certain maps and at certain times, just like power weapons. Also guys, just make sure that if you're interested in future Halo Infinite videos like weapons tier list, rank tips, all kinds of guides, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel because my channel is all about helping you to dominate in first-person shooters. Now any equipment item in Halo Infinite will automatically be picked up when you walk over the item, unless you do have a equipment item in your inventory. You can also see what you have equipped next to your grenade counter in the bottom right corner of the screen. Each equipment does have its own icon, so today I can show you guys these different icons to help you differentiate the items in game. A number will appear next to that item icon, which will tell you exactly how many uses you have for that specific piece of equipment. All equipment items except for the overshield and active camo have short cooldowns between uses, but there is a bit of variation. For example, the Grapple Shot has almost no cooldown, however the drop wall has a higher cooldown, but it's only a few seconds. Now let's get into some specific details with each item. First up, we have the Grapple Shot. Now this equipment item is extremely fun, and like we said, there is very little cooldown between uses. This specific item has several ways to help you in your fights, with taking high ground over an enemy, using the hook to get out of harm's way and to let your shields regenerate, or you can even grapple close to enemies for kills with the grab hammer or sword. Now several uses for this equipment item that you might not know: you also can pick up weapons or flags from a distance with the Grapple Shot. Also keep in mind that as you fly through the air, you do have some mid-air control and you can swing around the hook, but you will break the grappling line if you look away from the hook point too much, just like Pathfinder if you guys have played Apex Legends. Pressing the equipment button again or crouch while grappling will also cut the line early, so if you're attached and you notice that it's not safe on the other side where you are grappling, make sure to cancel with one of these 2 different options. One final note with the grapple, you will notice a yellow indicator in the middle of your crosshair. This means that while you have the Grapple Shot equipped, you are in range to utilize your hook on that object. Next up, we have the Repulsor, which I was honestly very confused by when I first booted up the game. The game does a pretty poor job of explaining a lot of the equipment to you, but hey, that's why you have me. Now, the Repulsor is the ultimate grenade and close quarters counter. When you use the Repulsor, it will kick things back in front of you. You can use this to knock enemies off the map. You can knock someone back that has a melee weapon or a shotgun. Now the hidden potential with the Repulsor is that if you use your equipment and press jump at the exact same time, so if you're on Xbox, for me equipment is my LB. If I hit LB and A at the exact same time, then I get a major jump boost. This is actually huge for taking position and the enemy will totally not expect it. You can also pull off some crazy trick shots with the Repulsor. Guys, try this out. Or you can even use this item to push back vehicles, rockets, grenades, all sorts of stuff. The default number of uses with the Repulsor is 3, and the maximum amount of uses you can hold is 5. Guys, if you are enjoying the video, I just wanted to remind you, make sure you like the video in order to share it to others, and I would greatly appreciate it. Now let's get back into these equipment items. Now, if anyone remembers Halo 3, the drop wall reminds me sort of dropping equipment like the bubble shield back in the day. However, the drop shield is much weaker than the bubble shield back in Halo 3. This is a one-way shield where you can shoot through it from behind, but it will take some damage from the front. The shield has 15 different armor points, but one armor location can be destroyed in just 3 assault rifle shots. Keep in mind that this shield is pretty weak, but it can give you enough cover to win your 1v1 gunfights when you're out in the open. Now, one major tip with this equipment is that it does block grenades, so make sure you use this equipment in a pinch in order to block some incoming nades when your enemy is trying to nade spam. The drop wall lasts for about 10 seconds once deployed. You start with 2 walls when it's picked up, and the maximum amount you can carry is 3. Next up, we have the threat sensor, and this is a device that can be fired off like a grenade to reveal the positions of enemies. The sensor will stick to a surface and can also stick to players. Maybe even try sticking your teammates and having them push somebody, but it will emit a few pulses that highlight enemies within the proximity with a red silhouette. Each sensor only lasts about 6 seconds, so make sure you get all the information you need in that 6 seconds. And now a major point with this equipment is that the sensor does not counter and it does not detect active camo, so keep that in mind. The default sensors you get is a stack of 2, but you're able to carry a max of 4 sensors. After the threat sensor, we have the thruster, which makes its way back into this game from Halo 5. This will give you a thruster pack that allows you to perform a short lateral dash. Utilize this equipment to quickly dash to cover. Use it to throw off your opponent's aim and reposition with help from your squad mates. You can use this thruster aggressively to close the gap, but I would personally use it more as a defensive item. You obtain 3 uses when you pick up the item, and the most you can carry is 5 at one time. Now, getting into the power equipment items, the first up is the active camouflage. The camo makes you totally invisible for 30 seconds. However, the invisibility temporarily stops when you shoot, melee, sprint, throw grenades. When you perform actions, you become a little more visible. While you have the active camo, you also do not show up on motion trackers while you're invisible, and you cannot be detected by threat sensors, making this the ultimate surprise attack item in the entire game. You will feel like an absolute assassin with the active camouflage. And then lastly, we have the overshield. The overshield adds an extra layer of shield, and it takes around 40 seconds to return to the original shield. It's pretty simple though. The overshield is basically like having 2 shields in one, so it makes you twice as hard to kill. The major point that I want to make here is that both the overshield and the active camo in this game are very different because you can keep it in your inventory and then find the right moment to activate that item. For example, you can keep the overshield in your inventory, and when you get closer to the enemy base, you could activate it, or maybe when your armor gets cracked, you can go around cover, and then you can activate that overshield, and boom, when that enemy's pushing you, you have an overshield, and you just totally win that fight. Now, you can see certain equipment items on other Spartans. You can take note here that you can see when someone is equipped with a repulsor if you're close range on that enemy, and then also you can see when somebody has active camo or overshield and they have not activated that power item yet. But everyone, that's all for today's video. Make sure you like and comment what is your favorite equipment item in the game. Honestly, I have tons of fun with the grappling hook, and I'm glad they added that to Infinite. All right, guys, make sure you subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next video. I'm Grizzy, and I'm out. Peace.